Three, two, one, action. Welcome back to episode 40 of As Seen on Screen. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Gracie, and we are your source for entertainment news, reviews, interviews, and more.
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify and YouTube. Well, welcome back to another week of the show. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We have some fun movie news, as always, to go over. Also, a few little nods in music and television. So let's jump right into it. Actually, our first piece of news is
Very sad.
so last week, Duolingo, the very popular language app, announced their popular mascot, better known as Duo, had passed away. And I'm not sure what kind of marketing this is. I don't know where this is going, but I do know that they have gained so much attention, so much traction from this. So, Gracie, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
Okay, I'm gonna break it down. Here's how Duo died. The fact that not only us, but like the internet is so invested in an owl mascot, crazy. But as I said, we're invested. So here's how Duo died. Duo was making his way to work and he was hit by a Cybertruck. And that Cybertruck was being driven by a Canadian rapper. So now we have many problems. But anyway, you know, it took me off guard because they literally changed their profile to a dead bird. Um, and people are mourning. People are mourning this absolute icon because they feel like it's their fault he's dead because they were like, oh, he died because you didn't do your lessons. And they're like, I promise, I did my lessons now. Bring him back. We have yet to see what will happen. I was thinking Duo would like resurrect and like rebrand himself. That's my guess. But now I'm completely thrown off because all of his friends have died as well. So, for those of you who haven't seen, there's a bear mascot. He died due to hunting. Um, their purple mascot, I think her name is Lily. I could be wrong. She died because she was hugged by a loving child. And then there's one more, I can't remember her name, but she died because there was no bidet in the washroom. It's a strategy. It's a really good marketing strategy because now they're selling little like plush figures of these people in like little coffins. But yeah, definitely took the internet by storm.
Poor Duo. I was laughing. One of the funnier ones was Dua Lipa's reaction to it.
Real.
They they said something about Dua Lipa and she responded to it, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, it has taken over my entire TikTok feed. This little
And I
owl, this
love
poor
that like
guy.
other mascots have gotten in on it, like
Right?
the penguin for like the books. What was it?
Yeah.
Penguin books. They have
Penguin
like
have
a they have
yeah.
a whole SWAT team now because they're worried about him dying because apparently bird mascots are dying. And I just find it so funny. And like I think it was Tarte.
I was gonna say Tarte made a video
They
about
were
it.
like, I'm missing my shot with the owl. Like everybody's just hopped on this and it is such a smart marketing tactic, but also like I don't think I've ever been this invested with the murder of an owl.
Literally, the Duolingo released a whole statement when he died.
Yeah,
Hot
the
Ones posted
CEO,
thing too. Yeah, what is
the
happening?
CEO made a whole eulogy.
I'm very excited to see where they take this and like what the whole point of this is. I'm sure they have a bigger, maybe a bigger plan for this. I don't know. It's
I
hard to tell.
hope so.
I feel like he'll come back. He'll
He
resurrect.
has to come back. There's no way Duo is gone. If anything, this has kind of convinced me to get Duolingo. I
Yeah,
still haven't gotten it.
they're doing their marketing job well.
They are, because now I'm invested. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll learn a few lessons or something.
Well, enough about that. But if you're curious and it's not on your social feed yet, I don't know what to tell you because
It's
I'm sure
okay.
it's
I'll
everyone's.
put lots of clips in here so it doesn't just sound like we're making stuff up. But yeah, check out Duolingo's socials. They're killer right now.
Well, moving into some movie news, we got the first poster for the upcoming Prime Video film G20, starring Viola Davis as President Sutton. It's releasing to the streaming platform on April 10th, and the logline that Prime Video posted reads 20 nations, 19 captives, one hope. Experience Viola Davis as President Sutton in G20. I'm very intrigued for this film. I'm so here for another Viola Davis film. I feel like I haven't seen her in something new in a second, so I am very excited to see her kick some ass in this movie. It seems like, as always, I think the last time I saw her in something was the Songbirds and Snakes. Was that the last new thing she was in? Maybe.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. I was gonna say the last time I saw her in like an action was Suicide Squad, but now that I think about, yeah, she was in the Hunger Games.
Well, she's a badass and I love her, so I'm very excited for this film and for us to get more information as the release date gets closer.
I'm just here for Anthony Starr being another villain. Like this man has never had a normal role.
He is attracted to one role.
People see him and they're like, you're gonna be the psychotic killer.
That's unfortunate rep to
But
get.
you know what? He's good at it. So good for him.
Amazing.
Next up, Amy Adams is joining Javier Bardem in the new adaptation of John D. MacDonald's novel, The Executioners. This will be a 10-episode series titled Cape Fear, and it will be released on Apple TV Plus.
I love Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams. As Gracie knows, when we saw her at TIFF last year for Night Bitch, that was just one of the highlights of that festival for sure. I love Amy Adams so much.
That
And
really
hopefully,
threw me off that you said last year.
I know. I was like, wait.
It's only been a few months.
But
Yeah.
I'm so here for anything Amy Adams does. I'm very excited to see what this entails. She is one of the, she's so I know her in so many different roles. Like, obviously, Enchanted is the role a lot of us grew up with knowing her from. She's been in tons of different dramas, comedies now. She just does so many different things. And I get the feeling this is going to be more of a crime. Well, it's a crime thriller. So, drama, crime thriller, that kind of stuff. So, I'm very excited to see what she brings to this role.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm here for her resurgence that she's having.
Yes.
It was a little rough with the Disenchanted, but
Yeah.
we're moving back to good movies.
Yeah, I can't even give her that one. Disenchanted was a pretty rough watch, I can't lie. Well, anyone who's a Twilight fan or just a Taylor Lautner fan should be happy because we just had news that at Amazon MGM Studios, they are making a series called Taylor Lautner Werewolf Hunter. And now I have to read you guys this log line because I was trying to um condense this as I was writing this week's list, and I was like, I just gotta read this entire thing. So the official log line from the series statement reads, after wrapping the final Twilight film, Taylor Lautner vanished from the spotlight. Fans speculated, tabloids theorized, but the truth is wilder than fiction. Taylor wasn't just taking a mental health break. He was preparing for his real calling. Taylor Lautner, werewolf hunter. Playing himself, Taylor is drawn into a secret society of werewolf trackers who need his unique expertise. As he navigates his double life, Hollywood actor by day, supernatural warrior by night, Taylor must wrestle with the ultimate irony, fighting the very creatures that made him famous. Between saving the world,
There's
reviving
more.
yeah. Between saving the world, reviving his career, and falling in love, he faces the ultimate question. What happens when your biggest role becomes your greatest enemy?
This sounds like a fever dream, but also Taylor, sir, if you want another werewolf role, I'm
Nothing.
sure we can find one for you. You do not need to play yourself hunting werewolves. You are talented. You can do it.
I need to hear his wife's thought on this on their podcast that they have
There is
together.
no way that she's not in this show because it says falling in love. So she has to be
Yeah,
in it. She's gonna be
true.
like, girl, what's going on with
Oh
you?
my God, we get a double Taylor Lautner show.
For real, you know what? All we need is Taylor Swift popping up in the back too.
That's the trifecta.
The triple Taylor. Yeah, no, I'm excited for this because I'm so curious.
I just would love to be a fly on the wall as they film this show and to watch it, see what happens in the development and production of this because what is happening?
For it, like your Taylor is so talented. You're telling me you couldn't book a role for another werewolf? I will find you one personally. But yeah, good for him getting back out there with Amazon. You never know. He could be the new Nicholas Galitzine.
Amazon picks up the It Boys one by one, I swear.
Anyway, moving away from Taylor Lautner and werewolves, the official teaser trailer for the sixth and final season of The Handmaid's Tale has been released, and it is set to release on Hulu April 8th.
That's still one I have not gotten around to watching, and I need to because it's so critically acclaimed. I'm sure it's incredible. It's just one that I have not gotten on my watch list yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, but I think that's due to the fact that, like, I don't know if I want to watch a show that necessarily reminds me of how
That
messed
is
up the world is right now.
that is fair.
But it is very critically acclaimed, so congratulations to everybody on that show, and I'm excited for the fans of that to get this final season.
Well, moving into music news for a second, Lainey Wilson, country music star, is engaged to Devlin Hodges. The couple has reportedly been together since 2021, although apparently they kept their relationship a secret until May 2023 when they walked the ACM Awards red carpet together. I loved Lainey Wilson's Instagram post. She walked down her front porch stairs and showed her engagement ring and then captioned it four times you forever. Four times you is the name of her one of her songs. So I'm very excited for the couple. They seem very happy together. So big congratulations to them.
Sticking with music for one more second, Selena Gomez announced her upcoming album, which is actually a collaboration album with her fiance, Benny Blanco. It's titled I Said I Love You First, and it's set to be released on March 21st. They've already released their first single from it, along with like a visualizer video, lyric video. And I haven't listened to the song fully because just the little clip that they posted makes me like tear up. But it's so pretty. Like they're so in love and I love it. I love love. But yeah, I'm excited that Selena is coming back for music because she has been quoted saying that she only thinks she has like one more album in her before she retires from music just to focus solely on acting. I'm selfishly hoping this isn't the last album of hers and that she'll do one more solo album. Um, but I'm glad she's feeling comfortable and happy and in a place where they can both speak their mind about their relationship on their terms. So I'm excited to see what they create.
I'm very intrigued as well. I loved all the teaser pictures they posted on Instagram for this album. It just seems very wholesome, and I love that. I love their love. They're just so proudly and loudly in love, and I love that for them.
I know. I hope they stay in the honeymoon phase forever because I can't imagine like not seeing them both be so giddy and so happy about each other.
Yeah. Well, moving back over to film and television, I would say, for me at least, this is a really awaited series because I'm very curious to see what they do with it. I'm a little scared, but I'm very mostly excited, especially after this news. The Elle prequel series over at Amazon MGM Studios has found their lead title character Elle, Lexi Mindtree. She's been cast as young Elle. This series is taking place in high school. We're seeing Elle Woods before she went off to college, and Reese Witherspoon and Prime Video posted the cutest video ever of Reese telling Lexi that they have cast her as Elle. If you haven't watched it, it's on Instagram and TikTok. They called her into what looks maybe like a hotel room or something of that nature, and they brought her in, and she pretended in the lead up to it. She's like, "Well, you don't have to keep auditioning. There's been so many audition tapes, blah 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 blah." And then they told her that they cast her, and then Lexi, in shortly after, calls her mom, and Reese and Lexi tell her mom together that they have cast her as young Elwood. So it's a very cute moment, very cute video. They look like twins. They
Yeah,
definitely has a young Reese Witherspoon essence to her. Like she looks exactly like her. They clearly have very bubbly personalities, both of them. So
very
very cute.
similar voices as well.
very similar voices. So I'm very happy with this casting choice. I think it's very cool they did doing like the open casting and opening it up to anyone. Lexi actually does have at least I read 20 acting credits under her belt. So good for her. Very excited for this. Very curious. And that video was like the cutest thing I watched all week last week.
Yeah, congratulations to her. Can't wait to see this series, but also what she does next, because obviously this is like a huge stepping stone in any young actor's career. So I'm excited. I always love when we have like new talent as much as I love our Hollywood it boy and girls. Um, it's always nice to like give someone else a chance.
Absolutely.
But also some news in the TV world. XO Kitty has officially been renewed for season 3. Now, I know Nicole and I still have not watched season 2, but we did rewatch the last two All the Boys I Loved Before, so I count that.
We've seen the prequel movies.
Yeah. We just have to get on to the TV show. But I love this cast. I'm so happy for them and happy for the fans too. It's always like so likely that Netflix especially is going to cancel a show that people love. So don't worry, guys, you're safe for another season.
This gives me hope that we're finally gonna get a Laura Jean and Peter Kavinsky reunion on the show next season.
You're dreaming.
Hey, no Centineo, Peter Kavinsky was in this latest season. Maybe they'll do a
Yeah, and
little
where
reunion.
was Lara Jean?
I don't know, that's what I'm saying.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Apparently. Well, that's all the news we have for this week. So moving into our next segment, our watches of the week. Gracie, what were you watching this week?
I I had two watches of the week. Number one, I finally watched Flight Risk, which I just want to start off by saying not as bad as everybody said it was, but
Thank
also
you. I
false
agree.
advertising because Mark Wahlberg was literally on the poster and he's in it for the least amount of time. So that is my, I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. But my real watch of the week was The Gorge, which just came out on Apple TV Plus on Valentine's Day. I watched it with my sister, and honestly, it was a good film. I'm refreshed that I've finally seen a good action film on streaming this year because, as we know in the past, it's a bit iffy. But yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller absolutely killed it in this film. Their chemistry was so good. Like, I'm obsessed with them together. I don't necessarily want a sequel of this movie, but I want them to be a couple again in a movie because it was just so cute. Like, it has kick in our feet and giggling. But it's also Miles Teller, so. The moral of this story in this film is if he wanted to, he would. And
Mm,
that's all I, this man
mm.
literally is like, there is a huge gorge in between these two people, and he somehow makes a zip line to get across to her.
Asking for that.
Romance is not dead. But yeah, then it goes into huge like action sequences, which were very well choreographed, great CGI. Um, yeah, the only thing I wish was that it was a little shorter, but if they were going to keep it the same length it is now, I would have loved a bit more backstory on like the characters because you kind of only see like a month before they get sent on this mission. So would have loved to know more about them, how they got where they are. But other than that, it was pretty good. If you're looking for a good action romance and a reminder that some men out there are really doing the most, then watch The Gorge.
I love that. I have to check that one out. I'm excited. Gracie giving a positive streaming review was on her list, so I'm very excited for her that she got a
I,
good
yeah, I wrote a good review for once, but I also was really proud of my letterbox review.
Let's look. What did Gracie say for her
My
letterbox?
letterbox review, if I remember correctly, was if Taylor Swift's You Belong With Me music video had an action like storyline.
I can so see you giggling as you wrote that. I
And I
love it so much.
firmly stand by it because if you've watched the movie, you will completely understand what I'm talking about.
Perfect. I love that so much.
But enough about the gorge. What was your watch of the week, Nicole?
Like you, I have two. I just want to copy you. So, I'm gonna say Notting Hill. I watched it for the first time. I don't know how I've never seen
What?
Notting. Yeah, I know. I don't know.
This is
I've
like
never seen
reversed.
it.
Usually you're getting mad at me, but like,
Right?
what?
I know. This was just one I hadn't seen. I don't know why. But I went and saw Notting Hill at the outdoor Westpac open air theater they have here in Sydney. So pretty. It was right across from the Sydney Opera House on the harbor, on the water. Gorgeous, gorgeous. But if you're like me and haven't seen Notting Hill, it is from 1999, so we're behind. And starring Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. Julia Roberts' character Anna plays a famous actress who runs into Hugh Grant's character William at the travel bookstore that he owns, and the two inevitably fall in love. This is a rom-com, but it is all about them navigating the tricky waters that Anna is under because she's one of the biggest actresses um at the time in this movie. So it's very cute and sweet to see them kind of go back and forth and figure out how to make their two worlds work. And yeah, it's very sweet and one of my new favorites, definitely on like my top
Yay!
10 rom-coms out there. I really liked this one. So that was really sweet. But my true watch of the week was one I was very excited to see. I went and saw Hard Eyes on Valentine's Day. I had to make it fitting. I had to make it appropriate, of course. Hard Eyes is a new movie that is out now, starring Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding. They are mistaken for a couple by the Hard Eyes Killer, a serial killer who appears on Valentine's Day throughout different areas in the States. This year, the killer is striking in Seattle when he sees the two characters out for dinner when they are working late, and they begin to stalk the couple and try to kill them, basically. Because this killer is all about hating on love on Valentine's Day.
I
So
do want to see this one, so I'm glad you enjoyed it.
the whole movie is very funny. The one thing I will say about it is sometimes I think it tried a little too hard to combine too many genres at once. Like I said, there's tons of romance, tons of slasher, horror elements, but then also tons of comedy as well. So people saying it's like Scream, I would say it's kind of correct. Scream with romance, because Scream, there are, throughout the different movies, we see many different couples, but this is definitely more romance oriented for sure. So I would say the one fault I had of it was combining too many things at once and trying to incorporate too many things into different scenes, but it had a lot of great kills, graphic kills sometimes too. So if you're against that, just be warned, there are some very graphic scenes. And yeah, but overall, I thought this was a fun watch. So you should go see this in theaters now. Well, what is your song of the week, Gracie?
Listen, I'm gonna be so honest. My song of the week is a franchise of the week.
Chase.
Don't ask me why, but I just had an urge to start re-listening to and like constantly replaying all of the High School Musical soundtracks.
Mm,
So that's been on my
valid.
rotation pretty heavy
That's
this week.
that's pretty valid.
Yeah, so I'm not even embarrassed. Like Kenny Ortega never misses with his work. So yeah, High School Musical, they got some hits, man. But also Busy Woman by Sabrina Carpenter off her new deluxe album.
You gotta balance it out.
We do because like she dropped her deluxe album and majority of the songs on there hit. I'm not a huge fan of Please 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 with Dolly Parton, but
Neither is the rest of the internet.
I did like the video though. Shout out Barry Keoghan. Yeah, but no, two killer soundtracks to my week.
That's awesome.
What was your song of the week, Nicole?
My song of the week is one that actually came out almost 2 weeks ago now. Thomas Rhett released an extended version of his song After All the Bars Are Closed called Last Call version. Um, Basically, if you like After All the Bars Are Closed, you're gonna love this little extended version. It just adds a little bit more. But this came out on February 7th. I love Thomas Rhett. I'm seeing him again in concert this summer. I'm so excited. He puts on such a good show. That's like the third time I've seen him now, I think this will be. So I love his music, safe to say. Well, this brings us to the last segment of our show this week, our upcoming releases. Gracie, what is on the release slate for this week?
Starting off February 21st, we have The Unbreakable Boy, which is hitting theaters.
Also in theaters this weekend, we have The Monkey from Oz Perkins. He directed and wrote Longlegs last summer, and he is bringing Stephen King's short story to the big screen. I've heard nothing but really great things about this, although it's very graphic,
Uh,
apparently.
I'm debating if this falls in my realm of things I see because a lot of people are saying it's more of a comedy.
Yeah, I could see that because the
So
trailer, that vibe.
I think that's like the only way I would see it. Like, I'm fine with the gory stuff, but if it's scary and gory,
I'll go see it and I'll report.
okay, I'll wait for your review. Next up on the 21st, Cleaner is having a limited release in certain theaters, so you can check that out.
Over on the streaming front on Hulu and Disney Plus, we have A Thousand Blows.
And lastly, we have Surface, which is on Apple TV Plus.
Then on February 23rd, over on Paramount Plus, we have the season 2 of 1923.
February 25th, we have Full Swing Season 3 on Netflix.
We also have Black Ops on Hulu on the February 25th.
And February 26th, we have 1992, which is finally going to Stars. I did interviews for that, and it's such a good movie. So if you haven't watched it, check it out when it goes to Stars.
And closing out our list today, also on the 26th, we have season 4 of Shoresy on Hulu. Well, that brings us to the end of our show this week. So, as always, thank you so much for sticking around and hanging out with us. Thank you again for tuning into this episode of As Seen on Screen. I'm Nicole.
I'm Gracie, and you can watch us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify or YouTube.
We'll be back at the same time next week. We'll see you then. Bye.